judge, in his hush money trial, found Trump to be in contempt for violating the terms of his gag order. Again, this is Trump's 10th violation, and we're only on day 12 of the trial. He's already paid $9,000 in fines.
For less than 3 weeks, Donald Trump has been on trial for his hush money scandal. Every day, Jimmy Kimmel has been criticizing him for his actions. Despite a gag order preventing Trump from discussing the case publicly, he has violated it 9 times already. On May 7th, 2024, the judge warned Trump again to stop discussing the case in public, and this time the threats included jail time. Trump has already accumulated around $9,000 in fines for violating the gag order. Despite the judge's warnings, Trump has continued to discuss the case publicly and pay the fines. However, the judge has had enough and warned Trump that he could go to jail if he continued to disrespect the legal system. According to Jimmy Kimmel, it's highly unlikely that Donald Trump will refrain from talking about the case. Let's listen to his prediction.
The judge is now threatening to put Trump in jail if he doesn't stop talking about the case, which means Trump is definitely going to jail because he can't stop talking about the case. It's like trying to get a dog to stop licking itself. It's like, don't it? Nah, whatever. It's his nature. Sending the former president on a trip to Mar-a-Lago, according to Judge Merchan, is the last thing I want to do, which is funny because it's the first thing I would want to do. It's like number 1 on my list. And how would that even work? I mean, like, would they give him a cavity search? God help whoever gets that gig. They might find Vivek Ramaswamy living up there.
Due to the extensive publicity surrounding the case, imprisoning the ex-president for violating the gag order could result in opposition from the MAGA supporters. This could be the reason why the judge made it clear that imprisonment is not the first option. Jimmy Kimmel also stressed this point and speculated on the possible outcome for the Secret Service if Donald Trump were to end up in prison.
You know, they still haven't figured out what to do about the Secret Service if they have to lock him up. They might have to go to prison too. Can you imagine that? You work your whole life to become a Secret Service agent assigned to protecting the President of the United States. Somehow you wind up doing 12-hour shifts in a prison cell with Count Flatula.
The possibility of Secret Service agents facing legal repercussions due to their continuous discussions about the intricate criminal case, despite several warnings, would be a terrible outcome. Nevertheless, we must also take into account the potential monetary consequences.
The weekend, one of Trump's alleged former mistresses, Karen McDougal, the former Playboy playmate, she had a story about a year-long affair she had with Trump. It was purchased specifically to be buried by Trump's buddy at the National Enquirer. She posted a picture of the book Catch and Kill while she was in a bathtub in what appears to be a private dining room at the Cheesecake Factory. I don't know.
Throughout Donald Trump's time in office, taxpayers were faced with substantial costs, particularly in regards to the Secret Service using his hotels, which added up to millions of dollars. This raises the concern of whether taxpayers will be burdened with similar expenses again. Additionally, Jimmy Kimmel took the opportunity to mock Donald Trump's supposed former lover, who shared a questionable photo on the platform formerly known as Twitter. Now, let's examine Kimmel's comments on the matter.
Karen is expected to testify later this month. You know, we've been talking about Stormy so much, we forgot about Karen, which will be fun for Melania.
Late in May 2024, the hush money case will see the testimony of Miss Karen, who is said to have been a mistress of the defendant. According to Jimmy Kimmel, this is poised to be one of the most sensational and captivating parts of the ongoing legal proceedings.
Saturday, Trump, he hosted an event at Mar-a-Lago for wealthy donors. It was a luncheon that included around a dozen potential running mates, all of whom are auditioning to be his number 2 on the exciting new reality competition show, So You Think You Can Pence.
Although the testimony is noteworthy, the real intrigue lies in the luncheon that took place on May 4th, 2024, hosted by none other than Donald Trump himself. In attendance were numerous influential politicians, some of whom may be contenders for the position of Trump's second-in-command. Late-night comedian Jimmy Kimmel took notice of this gathering, offering up some intriguing remarks. Let's take a closer look at what he had to say.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, who I really love that she thinks she still has a shot. I mean, she had a shot, she used it on her dog, and now there's no way Trump is going to pick Kristi Noem, but he wants to keep her around in case one of the other lapdogs stops obeying his commands. Kristi can drag him to the rock quarry and put him down.
Oh, and before anybody starts defending Miss Christie and says that she never killed the dog, take a look at this.
Put it in a part of a chapter called Bad Day to Be a Goat. And then after you shot the dog, you, quote, realized another unpleasant job needed to be done.
Kimmel proceeded to shame Trump, who may be sentenced to prison, with the following statement.
We'll have the updated version.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
No, I've met with many world leaders, I'm not going to talk about my specific meetings with world leaders. I'm saying that this book is very good, and I've met with many world leaders.
That's right. All she's trying to say is the book is very good. And she's met with many world leaders, none of them being Kim Jong-un. Why would she even claim this? She's like the female George Santos. Although sometimes George Santos is the female George Santos.
The current political climate is one of high tension and uncertainty. With the upcoming election, the possibility of a sitting president ending up in jail is a scenario that many would consider unlikely, but not entirely impossible. The hush money case has been a thorn in the side of the current administration, and if evidence were to emerge that the president was indeed guilty of breaking the law, the consequences could be severe. However, it is worth noting that the Fifth Amendment grants the president an innocent until proven guilty presumption. This means that until such time as evidence is presented and a verdict is reached, the president is still entitled to carry out his duties and responsibilities as head of state. Of course, this has not stopped the president's running mates from working hard to curry favor with him. Kristi Noem, in particular, has been making a concerted effort to get into the good books of the president. However, it seems that she too has found herself in hot water recently, thanks to an incident of animal abuse involving her own pets. Jimmy Kimmel, a well-known late-night talk show host, was quick to pounce on this news, using it to further criticize the president and his allies. He lambasted Noem for her actions and suggested that her attempts to cozy up to the president were misguided and ultimately futile. As the election draws nearer, it is becoming increasingly clear that every misstep and mistake will be scrutinized and analyzed in detail.
It's really kind of a shame she didn't meet Kim Jong-un, because if anyone will be on her side when it comes to dog killing, I mean, that's the guy.
The stakes are high, and the potential consequences of a misstep are greater than ever before. Only time will tell how this will all play out. But one thing is for sure, the world is watching, and every move made by those in power will be scrutinized and analyzed in detail. Prior to anyone attempting to defend Miss Christie by claiming that she did not harm the dog, kindly examine this evidence. In her book about animal abuse confessions, Miss Christie dedicated an entire chapter to recounting not only the incident involving her puppy, but also a tragic event involving an innocent goat. She shared the details of these incidents in an effort to raise awareness about the importance of treating animals with kindness and respect. However, despite her good intentions, Miss Christie found herself in hot water when it was revealed that she had lied about meeting with the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. In the same book where she shared her animal abuse confessions, Miss Christie had claimed to have had a personal meeting with the notorious leader. However, it was later discovered that this was nothing more than a clear misrepresentation. Upon learning of Miss Christie's deception, popular talk show host Jimmy Kimmel wasted no time in calling her out for her dishonesty. He publicly humiliated her for lying about meeting Mr. Kim Jong-un, leaving Miss Christie to face the consequences of her actions. Despite the backlash she faced for her lies, Miss Christie attempted to justify her actions, claiming that she had simply wanted to draw attention to the plight of the North Korean people. However, her excuses fell on deaf ears, and her credibility was irreparably damaged. In the end, Miss Christie's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of deceit and the importance of honesty and integrity. While her intentions may have been noble, her lies ultimately cost her the respect and trust of those around her. According to Kimmel, if she acted in the way she did, it would have been appropriate for her to have a meeting with the leader of North Korea. As the United States gears up for the November 5th, 2024 elections, it is important to take a closer look at the individuals who will be running alongside Donald Trump in his bid to run the government. While some may argue that these individuals are the best representatives for America, Others may have a different opinion. Ultimately, the decision of who to vote for will come down to personal preference and the issues that matter most to each individual voter. However, it is important to note that the ongoing hush money trial involving the former president has added a new layer of intrigue to the upcoming elections. With the judge warning of potential jail time, the situation has become even more interesting. As for Trump, many are questioning whether he should continue to talk about the case publicly or if he should remain silent in order to avoid further legal trouble. Regardless of what happens with the hush money trial, one thing is for certain: the 2024 elections are shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated and closely watched in recent history. As the candidates continue to campaign and make their case to the American people, it will be up to each individual voter to decide who they believe is the best choice to lead the country forward. In the meantime, we will continue to keep you updated on all the latest developments and news surrounding the upcoming elections. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to stay informed and up to date on all the latest political news and analysis. Thanks for watching.